Data scientists seem to get all the glory, right? But there's this other crucial role kind of working in the shadows that makes all of their work possible. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the data engineer.
I love this metaphor. It's just perfect. We've all heard that phrase, data is the new oil. But think about it. Crude oil straight out of the ground is pretty useless. You need a massive, complex refinery to turn it into something valuable. Well, data engineers, they build and run that digital refinery.
So, yeah, who are these people? These invisible builders? What do they actually spend their days doing? Well, we're about to find out.
Okay, so first up, let's think of them as architects. They're the ones who are literally designing and laying the foundation for everything a company does with data.
And this is the key thing to get. It's not like a software engineer who's building the app you use on your phone. No, data engineers are building the massive internal platforms, the data highways that data scientists and analysts rely on. Without the infrastructure they create, there's simply no data to analyze, period.
All right, next up is probably my favorite analogy for this role, the digital plumber. Now, it might not sound glamorous, but believe me, it is absolutely essential.
A huge part of their job is building what's called a data pipeline, and you can totally think of it like a plumbing system for data. They make sure information flows smoothly and reliably from all these different sources, your phone apps, website clicks, sensors, into one central place where it can actually be used.
And look, we're not talking about a little bit of data here. We're talking about an absolutely insane amount. A lot of companies are wrangling petabytes of data every single day. To give you a sense of scale, 1 petabyte is 1,000,000 gigabytes. The systems these engineers build have to handle that kind of volume without even blinking.
This whole plumbing process usually goes by an acronym, ETL. It stands for extract, transform, and load. First, they extract the raw data from everywhere. Then, the magic happens in the transform step. This is where they clean it all up. And finally, they load that clean, ready-to-use data into a central warehouse for everyone else.
And this slide, wow, it just shows you the before and after so perfectly. On the left, you've got the raw data. It's a total mess, full of errors, duplicates, just chaos. And on the right, that's what the data engineer delivers. Clean, structured, trustworthy data. They're literally bringing order to chaos.
So, okay, building these massive pipelines is one thing, but what happens when one of them breaks? And trust me, they do break. That brings us to their next job title, reliability engineer.
This quote right here, it just nails how high the stakes are. When one of these pipelines goes down, it's not just some small tech issue. The entire business can be affected. Reports don't run, decisions get delayed. Everything can just stop. It's a huge deal.
So a massive part of their job is about not waiting for things to explode. They're proactive. They build monitoring systems that watch for problems, send out alerts, and can even fix things automatically. It's all about building resilient systems so that everyone else in the company can actually trust the data they're looking at.
Okay, so we've got architects, plumbers, reliability experts. What else? Well, this role also requires this wild mix of super deep technical skills and, you guessed it, really strong people skills.
I mean, just look at this list of tools. Now, you don't have to know what every single one of these does, but the point is the sheer variety. Data engineers have to be tech polyglots, right? They have to be fluent in all these different languages and platforms. And this tech landscape is changing all the time, so they just have to keep learning.
But here's the thing, being a technical wizard isn't enough, not even close. They also have to be amazing communicators. They're the translators who can listen to a business need like, hey, we want to understand our customers better, and then turn that into a real technical system that delivers the exact data needed.
Yeah, and they are definitely not working alone in some dark corner. You can see here how they're basically the central hub, the connection point for almost every other technical team in a company. They're constantly talking to data scientists, software engineers, security, you name it.
And all this leads to what might be their most important role of all. All this technical stuff isn't just for fun. It's about enabling the entire business to be smarter, faster, and better.
It really all comes down to this. See, just having a ton of data sitting around costs money to store, and it can even be a risk. Data engineers, they're the ones who perform this kind of magic trick, turning something that's just a cost center into a company's biggest competitive advantage.
And this, right here, is the ultimate transformation they make happen.
They take data from being this liability on the left, expensive, risky, hard to use, and they turn it into a genuine asset on the right, something that powers smart decisions, creates new products, and sparks real innovation.
So when you boil it all down, it comes back to this idea. The data scientists, the analysts, the executives, they are all building on top of the work the data engineers do. They are that invisible, but absolutely critical foundation.
So I'll just leave you with this one last question to chew on. In a world where every company is trying to be data-driven, could it be that the most important person in the building is the one whose work you never even see?